Alright, I'm going to make this video now. I'm changing my pod. Omni Pod, newest version. It's a lot smaller. They're smaller than the older ones, but they still tend to have problems when you prime the pump itself. So I'm going to change my pod now. Alright, now I can remove it, the old one. I like to just pull it off quickly because it works better that way. You don't feel it come out, it doesn't tend to hurt usually. Alright, that was that. I had to use a little medical tape on the last one because it kind of ripped, so just to make sure it doesn't get water and mess up the seal. I already filled up the syringe with the insulin, so I'm going to go ahead and fill the pod now. I don't usually plunge it completely because there's usually a few little bubbles that like to collect at the top of the syringe, so those bubbles will make it occlude or have a malfunction when it's priming. So I usually stop just a little bit before, because I don't usually use all the insulin in the pod itself anyway. Just to be on the safe side, because if you've used the Omni Pods before, you know that they malfunction rather frequently, and that hasn't changed with the new design. So hold the pod right against the PDM while it's priming. Seems to be the best way to make sure that it doesn't have a malfunction while it's priming. Again, if you've used the Omni Pods before, you are aware of this priming procedure, how long it takes, and how nerve-wracking it can be until it's complete, because they can malfunction while it's priming. So you get through step one of the priming, and once you do that successfully, then the only thing you have to worry about after that is the occlusion factor after it's already on you. And so far, I've been on this for almost a month now, and I haven't had any malfunctions while it was actually on me. The very first one that I tried to use with the representative from Omnipod malfunctioned. So that's how I knew that they weren't perfect still. Remove the cap, make sure cannula, however you wanted to say it. I don't know the exact perfect medical term for it, but whatever, make sure it hasn't already fired. It hasn't, so it's good to go. And then for me, being a whole 128 pounds, I don't have very many locations to put the pods, so I've been sticking them on my back. The only spot where I seem to have any kind of excess fat. And they've been working okay for me there, but the last one really hurt, but it still worked with no problems. So I'm going to put this one on my left side in the same general area, and I'm just going to have to keep doing that until it really starts to hurt, and then I'll have to switch to my thighs or my arms. But this time I'm going to go ahead and put it where it's been working for me. So it helps to have somebody else do this, because to do it yourself, it'll hurt. So it'll be hard to do because you can only have two hands. Back leg. Can you see the back of the last one? I go down as well a little bit. You gotta be careful when you put the pod on, which is why it's better to have somebody else do it, because if the adhesive gets wrinkled or messed up in any way, it's a little nerve-wracking that water might get in there and it might lose its adhesion factor. So I just rub the spot down with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. And then we're pretty much good to go. I like to stretch out a little before it's put on, because that way when you relax your skin, it's tight. Or you go to stretch and it loosens the adhesive. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes this hurts. Sometimes it doesn't hurt. I mean, you feel it, but it doesn't tickle, but it doesn't like hurt. And I like to push it to really get it to stick on there. Just make sure you get the adhesive as tight or as secure as you can. And it is going to be there for 3 days. Alright, it's the part I dread. Alright, yeah, you want to put it sideways, because I tried putting one that was cocked down a little, and it started to leak on me. So I don't know what that was all about, but just keep it sideways, like the diagram will show you on the box itself. And then just hope that it doesn't hurt. I mean, I guess if you're a little bit obese, it won't hurt, but when you're as thin as I am, it can be a little painful at times. So you want to pinch up the skin just a little, not too much, and just press down right where it's going to insert into you, and just hold it there until it does. Yeah, that one hurt a little, and it usually itches immediately. Once the itching goes away, you're good to go for 3 days. Hopefully it doesn't occlude and have a problem with you. And you want to check the cannula, make sure it's good. There's a little viewing window on the pod itself, and so that way you can see it physically embedded in your skin. And that's that. It sucks, it's not fun, it's the best we have as far as being diabetic goes, but it's still not fun. Diabetes is not a fun disease, it's a pain, and I don't enjoy having it at all, but this is 10 times better than the 5 daily injections, but that's how it works. So, it itches a little, but in 3 days, I'll do it again on the other side.